Welcome once again to the beatzillapdx official news break. As you can see today, we have some interesting news. This coming from my neck of the woods. It looks like we're having some issues with the ballot drop-offs. Here we do early mail-in voting. And of course, you can still drop your ballots off at like the last day, and you'll be doing it at one of the designated locations. However, they have these drop boxes all over the place because we've been doing mail-by voting in the Northwest for probably about 20 years. So right now is the first time of this ever happening, but this also coincides with a large political shift going on in the Pacific Northwest, where a lot of usually vote blue people haven't really committed this year. But I just wanted to give that little opener, and then let's check out this. Well, you already seen the first clip, but now let me show you the local news and how they're reporting it, because what happened was there was a box that's actually not too far from me. They found an incendiary device, and then they actually were able to catch the one on fire over there in Vancouver. And it actually seems like the one here in Multnomah County also did detonate, or either they detonated it, but the fire didn't burn up all the ballots like it did over there in Washington. So with that being said, I'll play this little clip and then I'll come back and give my ending commentary.
News, 2 incidents involving ballot boxes this morning. We'll start with what's happening in Vancouver. That is on the left side of your screen. We just watched firefighters pry open the back of this ballot box, which is obviously on fire. We were watching it smoke for the past half hour or so. This is at the Park and Ride drop-off ballot box at Fisher's Landing, right next to the C-Tran Transit building. We were watching police officers and firefighters sort of standing around this ballot box for a while, taking pictures. Then one of those firefighters just walked up with what looked like a crowbar, and they pulled the back of the ballot box out, and a bunch of ballots that are on fire poured out onto the ground. They're trying to put the fire out now. Obviously, it is steaming. It's pouring rain there. We don't know how many ballots were in this box, but obviously they are destroyed. This is going to be a big problem. This is happening again at the Park and Ride ballot location at Fisher's Landing in Vancouver. We're also tracking breaking news at the Multnomah County Elections Office. That is on the right side of your screen right now, where police found an incendiary device at this ballot box.
So as you see, ladies and gentlemen, and again, family, if you could like this broadcast, share this broadcast out. But as you see, it appears that, there was a very clear attack. I would say this is what they always talk about, attacks on democracy. Now, my particular take on this is this, because I've seen a lot of the Antifa, a lot of the agent provocateur type of behavior go on, especially around here. Because truth be told, let's just keep it a buck. A lot of these people come from these colleges. When we had our last year, they shut down PSU for a protest about Palestine. Come to find out the majority of the people who were arrested weren't even students, nor were they even from Portland, Oregon, or even here as like exchange students. They have no business being here. Who knows who brought them? Probably the Soros crew. But with that being said, understanding we see these type of movements often, and why I think we're seeing this shift here in Portland and in the metropolitan area is, like I said, normally this is a blue no matter who area, and you would have seen a bunch of Harris and Walt signs all over. But this year, that is not the case whatsoever. Like I told you guys before, I didn't even see the signs. My wife saw them while we were driving the other day, and she said she actually counted about, I think I told you she saw 3, but by the time we actually did get home, she said she saw around 5 or 6. 5 or 6 compared to an uncountable number of signs is why I'm believing this is happening. Because here's what I think the message that this would kind of send off, and if I'm reading it that way in my city, I would imagine the other people are as well. And it goes as this: when you don't see over support of the Democrats, it's because they don't want to tell you who they're actually supporting. And so I have a strong feeling that just things that people want to see in this city and the things that people are running on in this city, this place has never had a real, this place or Washington for that matter, never ever had strong Republican candidates running against the Democrats. But this year is extremely different. And although we are in what you would consider liberal town, the tone of this place is changing a ton. And a lot of people are low key vibing with Trump. And so instead of going in and putting an endorsement out in their lawn, they don't even want to false endorse. Like the Black Lives Matter signs that were everywhere. We had them everywhere here. And then, of course, that died off. And now there's no more Black Lives Matter signs like that anywhere. They've taken them all down. But with that being said, there's a lot of low-key MAGA vibe. And this is Little Dixie, by the way. So don't get it twisted. This place is seriously Little Dixie. So the other issue that they have going on is that there is a humongous immigrant population between Oregon and Washington, and Northwest Oregon and all of Washington. And so when you start getting into how people are seeing this, you will not be able to just sell Kamala Harris to the Pacific Northwest. And one of the large problems that she's probably having, especially in the Seattle area, is with the Indian population, because she doesn't really stand for any Hindus or Indians or Muslim Indians. She's actually very overtly been taking sides against Muslims. So, which of course, Muslims and Hinduism, Islam and Hinduism are the two largest, I believe, religions of India. And of course, when you start getting into the Indians that are in, say, the Caribbean, they're going to be more Muslim and Catholic Christians. So you're not going to see a lot of Hindu coming from that. So again, it just looks like she's in a place that's why she needs black folks so much. You can't rely on the Asian community. Stop Asian hate folks ain't coming to her rescue right now, which is funny, isn't it? But it's all on us right now. It's all on black men, and black men, you need to vote for that. And I'm going to address Michelle Obama in another video, which was going to actually be today. But because of this brand new development of this attack on democracy, which I have to say, it would come from the Antifa types, the chaos folks, the people who are usually around the Democrats, who are really just anarchists. And that's the end and long and short of it. And they will jump on any side of any bandwagon to further that cause. And I think just this time around here in Portland, Oregon, you're seeing what you're seeing simply because folks are low-key vibing with Trump. And they don't want to admit it. Because, of course, socially it's not going to be accepted. But the reverse is, looking at what you're seeing in the city, and there are literally no election signs for Kamala Harris or for many Democrats for that matter. So with that being said, that means that they would elect they haven't committed, this town has not committed to any politician at all, which is so abnormal for this neck of the woods. It's incredibly abnormal for this neck of the woods. So when I see ballots getting burned, I'm not surprised, because family, I told y'all, you wouldn't even know that an election is going on right now. And the fact that it is, that tells me a lot of people ain't leaning towards Kamala Harris. They either leaning toward the couch, third party, or Donald Trump. but it definitely is apparently obvious it is not Kamala Harris. And I don't know how the end results of voting will be. That'll be an interesting thing to see, is the numbers just coming from this city. Because I know the numbers of this state, it's a strong chance that this state might go red. It's a very strong chance that Oregon might be red. They have it clearly marked off as blue, but do not count these delegates before they're hatched. That's all I can say. And with that being said, I just wanted to chime in on this, just give y'all a good news briefing update about what's going on here and my little 2 cents on what's happening about this war on democracy, this war on voting, this voter suppression by way of whoever. So we'll follow this story and see how things turn out. But who knows? You never know. Never know. So again, thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to like and share this broadcast. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And, make sure that, you're voting this year. If you're not voting for president, make sure you go over your ballots and look locally, because that right there, for the initiatives and whatnot, the things that will affect your pocket immediately, because some of these things that happen on state and county levels, those things go into effect sooner than later. So on that stage and that level of the game, family, make sure you guys stay vigilant there. And so thank y'all for tuning in once again. Hope you have a good beginning of the week. And have a good week, and we will be talking more and more as the week goes along. So with that being said, peace, power, blessings, and protection be up on each and every one of you. Stay black, stay vigilant, stay alive. Black first, black first, black first. Shalom, y'all.